I'm going to continue playing my Dream Chaser campaign, playing Quest 2, The Fate of Numenor. Going to be using the same decks. It's my LCG starter deck. And my Strike First Sylvan deck. Deck 1 is Galadriel, Celeborn, and Elrond. And deck 2 is Haldir of Lorien, Baragon, and Arwen. Starting spread for deck 1 is 33. And deck 2 is 28. The Fate of Numenor. Set up attached spyglass to Kalpan, shuffle, regenerate into an encounter deck. For each character in play, its controller may deal 1 damage to it to reduce their threat by 1. So there we are. We got him. And then we've got the spyglass attached to him. When it leaves play, remove it from the game. You can do an action. Exhaust spyglass, choose 1. Look at the shadow card. Look at the top and bottom card of your deck. Or place 1 progress on a location. 2 progress instead if it's uncharted. There's Revenant. And we have Anonymous Fate shuffled into the deck. Right now we have 3 unused XPs. And we have nothing upgraded. One A, explore the island. Set Shrine of Morgoth aside out of play. Prepare the uncharted deck. Add 2 copies of Lost Island from the top of the uncharted deck to the staging area. 3 copies instead if there are 3 or more players in the game. The first player takes control of Kalpan, shuffle the encounter deck. And the uncharted locations are in a separate deck. They're double-sided, and when you travel to a location that's uncharted, you flip it over. And you could also place 4 progress on top of it while it's in the staging area, the peak at the bottom. And these represent exploring the Lost Island, not knowing where you are, uncharted territory. And we set the Shrine of Morgoth aside out of play. One B. Explore the island. 20 quest points. Progress cannot be placed on Explore the Island except by quest effects. Forced. After location is explored, add the progress to Explore the Island, equal to that location's printed quest points. Forced. When an uncharted location becomes the active location, add 1 copy of Lost Island for the top of the uncharted deck to the staging area. And we're going to deal 1 damage to each of our characters. Lower a threat. So here we lower it by 3. And we lower this by 3. So we're starting at 30 and 25. Draw our opening hand. Galadon Archer, Host of the Gladrium, Nenya, Duran's Ruins, Gladrium's Handmaiden, and Elrond's Consul. We'll keep this hand. Deck 2. Marksman of Lorien, Gladrium Mistral, Elfriend, Host of the Gladrium, Unexpected Courage, and a Gladrium Weaver. We'll keep this hand as well. Play Duran's Ruins, draw 2 cards, and then discard a card. Get rid of a Galadon Archer. Put out a Nenya. Now we're going to go over to deck 2. Gandalf. We're not going to play anything. There's 4 in the staging area. We're going to quest for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Steep plateau. And a drowned dead. So that is 3. So we quested successfully. Now we're going to travel to this lost island. While Cursed Temple is the active location, characters with less than 2 willpower cannot ready. So he's not going to be able to ready up. Do we want to engage him? No. We're just going to exhaust Galadriel, reduce our threat by 1, and draw a card. Host of the Galadriel. Go to the next round. Test of will. We're going to play Gandalf. And deal 4 damage to the drowned dead and it's destroyed. Go over to deck. 1. Play Galadriel Minstrel. We can look at the top 5 cards of our deck for an event. We'll put 1 into our hand. Elrond's Council. Now there is 5 in the staging area. We're going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. Card 1. Lingering Malevolence. When revealed, the first player discards the bottom card of their deck, then discard cards in their hand with a printed cost higher than the discarded card. We're going to play a Test of Will. Cancel that effect. Card 2. Ominous Fate. This is where we can reveal an encounter card, raise our threat by X, or deal X damage. And that's going to be 2 because we're at part 2 in the quest. We're going to deal the damage. 2 to Calibor. And 1 to Legolas. And, or 2 to Gandalf. And 2 to Calibor. And that surges. Servant of the Deceiver. When the Servant of the Deceiver engages you, look at the top card of your deck. If it is printed cost of 2 or less, place it on the bottom of your deck, and Servant of the Deceiver gets +2 attack until the end of the round. So that added 3. Request for 3, 7, 8, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So request successfully by 7. That clears the Cursed Temple. And puts up, yes, that goes 3 onto the main quest because the Cursed Temple has 3 quest points. And now we'll travel to this one. While Flooded Ruins is the active location, it contributes this threat. We're not going to engage anything and go to the next round. Oh, before we do that, Galadriel is going to have us reduce our threat. Draw a card. Gandalf goes away. Limbus. I'm going to play a Galadon Archer and deal 1 damage to the Servant of the Deceiver. Go over to deck 2. Spend 1 and put a Dagger of Westerness onto Haldir. And that's all I'm going to do. Quest. There is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the staging area. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Drown Dead. Another Drown Dead. So that is 4. We're going to exhaust Galadriel. Add 4. So we quest successfully by 1. We're going to play 2 Elrond's consoles. So we quest successfully by 3 and lower our threat by 6. And he's got ability I can look at a shadow or place a progress. I'm going to place 1 progress onto the flooded ruins. Now we can engage an enemy. Engage him. I'll block with Beargond. No shadow. No damage. And we're going to attack for 6, or 5, 6, 7, 8. Destroy him. Go to the next round. Legolas. I'll put Unexpected Courage on the Haldir. I put a Galadriel Minstrel into play. We search the top 5 for an event and put it in our hand. Elrond's Console. Over to deck 1, Nace Guide. Put out a Nace Guide. And Haldir doesn't exhaust a quest. I'll put a Limbus on the Beargond. And put a Galadriel's Handmaiden into play. Reduce our threat by 1. Then we're going to use Calfon's ability, the Spyglass ability, and put 1 progress on this flooded ruins. And it explores it. And it puts 5 progress out of the quest. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 threat in the staging area. And we're requesting for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Card 1, Lingering Hell Violence. The first player discards the top card of their deck. Then they discard cards in their hand with a printed cost higher than the discarded card. It's 4. Oh, sorry, we don't have anything printed higher. Card 2, I got the reprint. It's immune to player card effects. It gets +2 attack and defense for each resource on the campaign card. Forced. When 3 or more damage would be placed on Reverent, place 2 damage instead. Forced. After Reverent is destroyed, shuffle it into the encounter deck. Place 1 progress on the campaign card. So we added 3. So we quest successfully. Now we're going to travel to the Lost Island. Well, it's the actual location it contributes to threat. We're going to engage him. And he's attacking for 3. We're going to block with Baragon. No shadow, no damage. And we're going to attack with Haldir and deal 2 damage to it. And now we're going to use Haldir's ability and attack into the staging area and deal 1 damage to this Servant of the Deceiver. And go to the next round. Galadriel is going to reduce our threat by 1 and draw us a card. Galadriel Weaver. And we got a Nace Guide. We're going to play a Host of the Galadriel. And we're going to return all our Sylvans to our hand. And then they go back into play. We're going to say that Haldir doesn't exhaust the quest. We're going to reduce the threat of deck 2 by 1. The Archer in, deal 1 damage to this Servant of the Deceiver and he's destroyed. And we get to search the top 5 cards of our deck for an event. Duran's Ruins. Now we're going to quest. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the staging area. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Steep plateau. And another steep plateau. So that added 2. Quest successfully by 8. That clears the flooded ruins and puts 5 onto the quest, which is 13. And we're going to travel to here. Drowned Ruins. After Drowned Graves is flipped over, while active, discard the top X cards of the encounter deck. Each player adds 1 undead enemy discarded by this effect to the staging area. X is 2 more than the number of players in the game. So that's going to be 4. Servant of the Deceiver. Ruins of Beleg. The Ruins Wandering. So we got 1. And we add another Lost Island. We're going to use his ability to put 1 progress here. And we are not going to, let's see if we engaged 1. And we're going to engage him. When he engages you, you look at the top card, and if it's 2 or less, place it at the bottom and it gets +2 attack. It's 3, it's not. Now we deal out shadow cards. We're going to block him with Baragon. No shadow. Here, we're going to play a Feigned Voices and draw back the Archer, and he can't attack. Now for attacking back, we're going to attack for 5 and deal 2 damage to him, and he's gone. He's going to get shuffled back into here, and we place 1 resource onto the campaign card. Ready up. Haldir. And he's going to attack for 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is destroyed. And we're going to exhaust Galadriel, lower our threat by 1 and draw a card. Go to the next round. Draw 2 cards. Get rid of a Nace Guide. Put a Sylvan Tracker in. Over to deck 2, Sylvan Tracker. Put a Sylvan Tracker in. I'm going to put a Elf Friend onto Baragon. I'm going to discard a Galadriel Weaver to give Baragon a resource because he's now Noldor, and spend 3 and put Legolas into play. Now we're going to quest. We're going to use. No, we're not going to use that yet. We'll quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, against 9. Curse of the Downfallen. Deal 1 damage to each non-objective ally with printed cost of 2 or less. Place each ally destroyed by this effect at the bottom of its owner's deck. We're going to play a Test of Will. Cancel that effect. Card 2. Throngs of the Unfaithful. Card 3. Throngs of the Unfaithful. And a Soulless Cadaver. So that added 5 up to 14. So we quest successfully by 1, 2, 3, 4. That clears the Drowned Graves. It puts 2 progress onto the main quest. Bring us up to 15. Travel to this lost island. Another Drowned Graves. So we have to discard the top 4 cards. There's 2 of them. And then we have to put another lost island. We're also going to be playing at Elrond's Consul to reduce our threat by 3. Then Gladriel's going to exhaust and reduce our threat by 1 more, and we get a draw card. Unexpected Courage. So now we don't have to engage anything. We want to optionally engage. We're going to optionally engage this Reverend. And he's got +2 to his attack and defense. There's no shadow cards. We're going to block him with Varagond, and Varagond takes 1 damage. Haldir's going to attack back. For 5 with Legolas for 4, so he does 3 damage. That brings it down to 2. And then Haldir's going to use his ability to attack into the staging area for 5. And we're going to deal 3 damage to this Soulless Cadaver. And then exhaust the spyglass to put 2 progress on this Lost Island. Now we go to the next round. Sylvan's heal up. Elven Light. We're going to discard an Elven Light to give Arwen a resource. Then we're going to spend 2 and put an Unexpected Courage on the Glorfindel. We're actually not going to spend this Unexpected Courage, play the Unexpected Courage. The resource we discard, we're going to put on to Elrond. Now I go over to deck 1. Ladrim Minstrel. We're going to put in a Galadriel Archer and deal 1 damage to this Soulless Cadaver, and it's destroyed. We're going to have this deck reduce their threat by 1 and draw a card. Galadon Archer. Now we're going to quest. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're going to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. First card, Drowned Dead. Second card is a Lurking Malevolence. The first player discards the bottom card of their deck. If they discard Then they discard each card in their hand with a printed cost higher than the discarded card. I'm going to play a Test of Will and cancel that. So we added 2. Quest successfully by 2. It clears out the graves and puts 2 progress here. We're going to use the spyglass to put 2 more progress here, and then remove the 2 to look at it. It's a cursed temple. Now do we want to engage anyone? No. But first we have to travel. We'll travel into here. It's a forbidden coast. When it's flipped over, each player draws a card, then choose 1 card from their hand to put at the bottom. Put a marksman at the bottom. Tree people. Put a Mirkwood runner at the bottom. He's going to attack. We're going to block with Baragond. And it takes 1 damage. And then Haldyr's going to attack for 5. And Galdon Archer for 3. That would deal 3 damage. It's down to 2, but it's enough to get rid of him. So we put another progress on the resource onto the campaign card and shuffle him into the deck. We're going to attack the staging area and put 3 damage onto this soulless cadaver. Legolas jumped in too for that attack, so we get to draw a card. Now we go to the next round. Gandalf. Okay, we're going to play a Snace Guide. We're going to say Haldir doesn't exhaust a quest. Over here it's an action. I'm going to spend a resource on Arwen. Bring back a Elven Light. Draw a card. And then discard card to give Elrond a resource. Then we're going to play Host of the Galadriel. All these come back to our hand. Going to put in Galadon, the Galadriel's Handmaiden, and reduce our threat by 1. The Galadon Archer, deal 1 damage to the soulless cadaver and it's destroyed. We're going to choose Elrond, and he doesn't exhaust a quest. We're going to choose Celeborn, and he doesn't exhaust a quest. Now we get to search the top 5 cards for an event. No events. Go over to deck 2. Lower threat by 1 and draw a card with Galadriel's ability. I'm going to put in the Galadriel Archer, or the Galadon Archer, and deal 1 damage to the Drowned Dead. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in the staging area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. First card, Nameless Wandering. When revealed, the players as a group must remove characters that total at least X willpower from the quest, where X is the number of uncharted locations in the staging area. You may give it Doom 2. No. So we're going to have to remove 2. Okay, we'll remove the Stillman tracker. So we're down to 23. And another one. We'll remove the Minstrel. We're down to 21. So we quest successfully by 8. That clears out the Forbidden Coast and puts 5 onto the main quest and fulfilling it, and we go to the next stage. A Fateful Discovery. When revealed, add 2 copies of Lost Island from the top of the Uncharted deck to the staging area. Add Shrine of Morgoth to the staging area. Lost Island side face up. remove all progress from each uncharted location in the staging area and shuffle them so that the players do not know which one is which. And I'm putting the Shrine of Morgoth. And now flip over to 2B. Fourth, after location is explored, if it would be shuffled into the uncharted deck, add it to the victory display instead. The players cannot defeat this stage unless Shrine of Morgoth is in the victory display. When Shrine of Morgoth is added to the victory display, the players win the game. And we no longer add a lost island to the staging area once we've traveled to one. We're going to use the Spyglass ability and put 2 progress on this one. And we're going to travel to this one, a lost jungle. 4 quest points. Forest. Well, lost jungle is in the staging area. Characters get -1 attack and lose ranged. After lost jungle is flipped over, well, active, return into the staging area unless each player exhausts each ready hero they control. Okay, so we exhausted all our ready heroes. Now we're going to ready up Haldir. We are not going to engage anything, and we're going to use Haldir's ability to snipe into the staging area and get rid of this Drown Dead. We'll go to the next round. Dwarven Tomb. We're going to discard a Hasty Stroke to give Arwen a resource. And spend 2 to put an Unexpected Courage on Galadriel. And go over to deck 1. Mirkwood Runner. We're going to use the Spyglass ability to put 2 more progress onto this, and then we're going to remove a 4 and see what it is. So Flooded Ruins. It's still on the Lost Island side, but just so I know what it is, I have it flipped over. I'm going to play a Tree People and return the Handmaiden back to my hand. Now I get to search the top. Oh, it's a whip. Put the Handmaiden back into play. And we'll reduce our threat by 1. Now we're going to quest. There is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is only 2 because it's a lost island. And we're going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. First card is a Curse of the Downfallen. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each non-objective ally with a printed cost of 2 or less. Okay, so that destroys this one. Okay, that tidies things up a little bit. And then card 2 is a Servant of the Deceiver. So we added 3 to 18. And recalculate here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to exhaust Galadriel, add 4, we're up to 16. So at the moment we've quested unsuccessfully by 2. We're going to play a Dwarven Tomb, and we can return a Spirit card from our discard pile to our hand. We're going to return the Elrond's Console and play it. Reduce our threat by 3. And add 1 resource to Elrond. So we quest unsuccessfully by 1. So these 2 are coming down to here. Now we're going to block 1 with Baragon. And discard the bottom card of your deck. If it's cost 2 or less, makes an immediate attack, and cost 0. So I'm going to make another attack. We're going to ready up with Limbus. Block again. Discard the bottom card of your deck. If that sprint costs 2 or less, exhaust a character. That's 2 or less. We don't have any characters to exhaust. And Haldir is going to snipe this one. And then we have to reveal the bottom card. If it's 2 or less, it returns to the top of the deck. It is 2 or less. Okay, and now Haldir is attacking for 5. We're going to attack and put two damage here. And Legolas is going to attack and put 3 damage on the Throngs. And we go to the next round. We're going to discard a Galadriel Weaver to give Elrond a resource, and then we're going to spend 5 and put Gandalf into play and deal 4 damage to this Servant of the Deceiver, and he's gone. Going over to deck 1. We're going to play a Galadriel Minstrel. And get Elrond's Consul. We're going to put 2 progress onto this Lost Island with the Spyglass's ability. Now we're going to quest. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. First card, the Throngs of the Unfaithful. 2, a Soulless Cadaver. And then last card, another Drowned Dead. So that added 1, 4, 5, 6, bringing it up to 19. We're going to use Galadriel's ability. To add 4. And then we're going to split Elrond's Council to make that 5. Reduce our threat by 3. So we're up to 23, so we quest successfully by 4, and that clears out the Lost Jungle. Now we're going to travel to this Lost Island. It's the Shrine of Morgoth. While Shrine of Morgoth is the active location, players cannot draw cards or search their decks. After Shrine of Morgoth is flipped over while active, exhaust each ally in play with printed cost 2 or less. Then each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for an undead enemy and put it into play and engage with them. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, this guy is going to come here, and look at the top. It costs 1, so it's going to get +2 attack. This guy's going to come over here. No other enemies need to be come down except for this Throng. We'll engage him over here. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to play a Feigned Voices. Return this Sylvan to our hand. He can't attack. And this one goes undefended. First, yeah, undefended. No, it's shadow, but 2 damage onto Calibor. Going to block the Drowned Dead with Baragon. No shadow, no damage. And this goes on defended. No shadow, put 2 damage onto Haldir. And for attacking back, he's going to attack for 5. And three. That would be 8. We will destroy this guy. And we can't draw cards, so we go to the next round. Heal up. Handoff goes away. I'm going to put a Sylvan Tracker into play. Over here, we're going to put a Minstrel into play. We're going to play a Host of the Gladrium. Return these all to our hand. And then put them all back into play. And they all get +1 to their stats because of Calibor. Now we're going to quest. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and Galadriel to make 26. First card is a Lingering Male Violence. First player discards the bottom card of their deck. Then they discard each card from their hand with a printed cost higher than the discarded card. 3. So we got to discard both our cards. Next card is Anonymous Fate. We're going to deal 2 damage to each characters. That Surges. Ruins of the Ages. Doom 2. And add 1 copy of Lost Island to the staging area. Remove all progress from each location and shuffle them up. added 2. We quested for 26, so we quest successfully by 8. That's just enough to explore the Shrine of Morgoth. So there's a win. So I would say the MVPs were Unexpected Courage and the host of the Gladrium. And now for results, we gain the following: 1 XP for each surviving player, so that's 2. 1 XP for each Lust for the Jungle or Drowned Graves in the victory display. We have a Lust for the Jungle, so that's going to be 3. 1 for each resource on this card, so that's going to be 2, so we're up to 5. 1 XP for each surviving player whose threat is 40 or less, that's 2, so we're up to 7. I made up for not getting that many in the last game. So, hope you enjoyed yourself, and thanks for watching. We now have gained 7 XPs, so we have a total of 10 unspent. And I will see you in the raid at the Grey Havens.